Some events are so unbelievable that, even though they are true, they are hard to accept. Today we are going to share the full story of a real incident, which is one such example. The incident goes like this. A woman disappears only to be found later, broken into 300 pieces, packed in 22 Tiffin boxes. Yes, you heard it right. A woman's body was dismembered into 300 pieces. But this woman was no ordinary individual. She was the wife of a retired lieutenant colonel from the Indian Army and a renowned doctor in the city. Who dared to commit such a gruesome act against the wife of a retired lieutenant colonel? What was this case about, and how was it uncovered? Stay tuned as we reveal everything in this video. Trust me, when you learn about the murderer and the motive behind the crime, it will shock you to your core. The details about the weapon used will leave you even more astounded. So without further delay, let's begin this horrifying story. In Bhubaneswar, the capital of Odisha, there is a locality called Nayapalli. It was here, in a large bungalow, that retired Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Somnath Parida lived with his wife, Usha Sri Samal. Dr. Parida joined the Indian Army in 1970 as a second lieutenant and retired as a lieutenant colonel in 1992. During his service, he worked as a doctor and was considered one of the best surgeons in the Army. After his retirement, Dr. Parida worked for a long time with the World Health Organization, WHO. Later, he settled in Bhubaneswar and started his own clinic. Dr. Somnath Parida and Usha Sri Samal had 2 children. Their son, after becoming a doctor, settled in America, while their daughter moved to Dubai. Although the children lived far away, they regularly spoke to their mother over the phone. Their communication with their father, however, was minimal because Dr. Parida had a short temper and did not get along well with anyone, including his own children. Socially, too, he remained isolated. Despite living in a large villa, it was only the 2 of them, Dr. Parida and his wife, who occupied the house. Visits from relatives were rare, and some people even referred to the bungalow as haunted. Dr. Parida followed a strict routine. He would go to bed by 6 p.m. and wake up at 3 a.m. Life was moving along like this until 2013. The son, who was in America, would call his mother once or twice a week. However, in June, when he tried calling, her phone was switched off. Assuming she was busy, he tried again later, but the phone remained off. The next day he called again, but her phone was still unreachable. Now concerned, he called his father, who told him that his mother had gone to visit their daughter in Dubai, which was why her phone was switched off. Relieved but skeptical, the son called his sister in Dubai to confirm. To his shock, she told him that their mother was not with her and that they had not spoken in days. Alarmed, the son called his father again and accused him of lying. Enraged, Dr. Parida shouted at him and hung up the phone. Subsequent calls went unanswered. Left with no choice, the son contacted his uncle, Ranjan Samal, who lived in Bhubaneswar. He requested Ranjan to check on their mother at Dr. Parida's house. Ranjan, along with another relative, went to the bungalow. They knocked on the door for a long time, but there was no response. Eventually, Dr. Parida opened a small window next to the door and spoke to them. When asked about Usha Sri's whereabouts, he repeated that she had gone to Dubai. Ranjan confronted him, saying he was lying since she was not in Dubai. He demanded that the door be opened. This angered Dr. Parida, who shouted at them and shut the window. Suspecting foul play, Ranjan peered through another window and was struck by a foul smell coming from inside the house. Convinced something was amiss, he immediately went to the Nayapalli police station and reported his concerns about his sister's disappearance and Dr. Parida's behavior. The police acted swiftly, arriving at the house and asking Dr. Parida to open the door. Despite repeated requests, he refused. The police then broke down the door and entered the house. Inside, they found Dr. Parida sitting calmly. Guided by the foul smell, the police began investigating further. Where is this foul smell coming from? With this thought, the man starts searching every corner of the house. During the search, he enters a locked room and finds 2 large boxes there. These are the same boxes that Somnath Parida used during his time in the Indian Army. Initially, the police suspect that Somnath might have preserved items related to his memories from the army in these boxes. However, when they open the boxes, they are shocked. Instead of personal belongings, the first box is filled with Tiffin boxes. The second box is also completely filled with Tiffin boxes. In total, there are 22 steel Tiffins in the two boxes combined. Seeing such a large number of Tiffins, the police are bewildered. When questioned about these Tiffins, Somnath Parida fails to provide a satisfactory explanation. The police then decide to open one of the Tiffins immediately. As soon as it is opened, everyone is horrified. Inside the Tiffin are small pieces of meat. One by one, all 22 Tiffins are opened, revealing that each is filled with pieces of meat. At first glance, it is clear that the meat pieces are human flesh. The cuts are precise, suggesting expertise. When questioned about the pieces, Somnath Parida admits that the meat belongs to his wife, Usha Shri. He explains that Usha Shri was a devotee of Sai Baba. One day, she suddenly started banging her head on the floor and continued until she died. Before dying, she expressed her wish for her last rites to be performed in Shirdi. Somnath claims that fulfilling her wish was not feasible, so he decided to cut her body into pieces, store them in Tiffin boxes, and take them to Shirdi one by one to perform her last rites. This explanation sounds bizarre, and the police begin interrogating Somnath thoroughly. Upon investigation, they discover that Usha Shri's head is missing from the pieces. The search for the head leads them to a large table in the house. On this table, they find Usha Shri's head placed neatly, covered with a cloth to avoid suspicion. The head had decomposed significantly, with the skin and hair separating from it. Somnath had used special chemicals to suppress the odor. When questioned about why he kept the head on the table, Somnath revealed something shocking. He confessed that every day he would sit in front of the table and talk to his wife's severed head. Despite his claim that Usha Shri died by banging her head, the police do not believe his story. They expand their investigation and conduct a thorough search of the house. The interrogation reveals a shocking truth. On June 3, 2013, Somnath and Usha Shri had an argument, during which Somnath, in a fit of rage, struck her head with a steel torch. The blow was so forceful that Usha Shri collapsed and became unconscious. However, Somnath's anger did not subside and he ended up killing her. After her death, he faced the challenge of disposing of the body. Initially, he locked her body in a room. The next day, when the maid arrived, he fired her immediately to avoid suspicion. Somnath then began cutting the body into pieces. Each day, he would buy 2 or 3 new Tiffin boxes from different shops to avoid arousing suspicion. He carefully stored the body parts in these Tiffins and kept them in the large boxes. To suppress the odor, he purchased chemicals and frequently sprayed fennel in the house. Being a renowned surgeon, Somnath had a deep understanding of human anatomy, which made it easy for him to cut the body into pieces. Using surgical scissors and knives, he dissected the body into approximately 300 pieces, each about 6 inches long. Further investigation revealed the motive for the murder. Usha Shri suspected that Somnath was having an affair with a woman working at his clinic. This suspicion often led to arguments between the couple. On June 3, 2013, during one such argument, Somnath lost control and killed her. On June 22, 2013, the police arrested Somnath Parida and charged him with murder and evidence tampering. The trial began in Kurda District and Sessions Court. During the trial, Somnath's son and daughter, who had returned from the US and Dubai, testified against their father. Based on their testimonies and the evidence collected by the police, the court found Somnath Parida guilty of murder. On February 25, 2020, he was sentenced to life imprisonment and fined 50,000. At present, 80-year-old Somnath Parida is serving his sentence in Jarpada jail near Bhubaneswar. Investigations also revealed that Somnath behaved normally at his clinic, even celebrating his birthday lavishly after the murder. Friends, how did you find this story? Let us know in the comments below. If you appreciate our effort, like and share this video so that others can learn about this shocking case. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more true crime stories. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video with another such story.